Hi, I'm Raven from Decider. How are you guys?
How you
Good. I love
doing?
that sweater.
I have to tell
Cool.
you, this was totally intentional. I have my red nails too to celebrate your guys' Valentine's Day weekend.
Yay,
Oh,
Amazing.
I
nice.
love it.
Great.
I think
My
that
dad's
the
birthday
date.
is Valentine's Day,
Oh, that's
Very
exciting.
I think
sensual.
that's important
That's
information.
huge. Get that down.
It's the headline. I have to say, I was super blown away by this season, mostly because I was so captivated by the fast development of Beth and John's relationship. I feel
Yeah, it
like that
moves.
that
Yeah.
really
Not wasting
surprised
any
me.
time.
Oh,
Um,
good. That's great news.
It feels like you guys were kind of redefining the general perception of romance. Like I think that we have gotten so many like slow burns and everyone loves a slow burn, but I really enjoyed what you guys did with the relationship and I would love to know, Amy, as the creator of the show, what was your inspiration at the speed of which things progress? Like did you know you wanted to tackle things like marriage and pregnancy in the second season?
I think there I wasn't we weren't sure. We've tried to make it really organic, but it's definitely fun to try and subvert all the expectations when possible. I think as a writer, I know my tendency is to first write things the way we've seen them before and
Mm.
we've come to know them. But then, my own reality was that my husband and I started dating, and then we got married 4 months later. We decided on a Thursday, we got married on a Tuesday. So, so that's kind of true to life. Yeah,
That is incredible. Wow. I love the personal inspiration there. And
yeah.
then, Michael, John kind of inadvertently pops a big question. And I think it's the first episode. Like it's the first or second episode. What was your reaction when you read the script?
I loved it, and there again, I feel like that a lot of that. What's funny about that came from really from Amy and Chris's life, which is always fun and gives it like a roundness, knowing that this really happened. Yeah, I mean, to me, it was very fitting for John and for Beth, and it just felt like the right thing for them. It's just, I feel happy for them, for these characters.
Yeah,
Me
there was an
too.
instinct that it was like, okay, and like it'll work up to the wedding for the last, and then it was
Yeah,
like, no, and
top heavy season.
right, and to each their own, but putting so much emphasis on the wedding versus just being married, wanting to
Hmm.
just be like, okay, we're married is, um, yeah, it did feel
That's
like
cool.
an original thought. Like, let's get it out of the way and not treat it like it's the be all end all, because in reality, it's not. Your
No.
your wedding's gonna be one night, everybody.
Well, I love their choice to do a destination wedding. I thought that that was so fun.
Yeah, and also like what could be more annoying to your friends? Just like a middle of the week
Yeah, pick up and
destination.
go.
Yeah.
Last minute too. I mean, you just checked all the boxes there.
Yes. Yes. Really annoying your friends.
Well, on this topic of, the relationship and you mentioning kind of how they kind of developed from this like flirty, will they, weren't they, friends with benefits situation to like building an entire life together. As actors, what was it like evolving in your chemistry in these scenes?
Our
Mm.
chemistry. Well, as I've said before, Michael and I had actual sex on camera.
It's important to know.
That's
Which we're
facts.
promoting as industry standard going forward.
Yes, we were our own intimacy coordinators. I don't know. I feel like we've had a chemistry since, before we even filmed this. And I think for me, I can just say, I think we just love each other as people and trust each other, and that's grown. And yeah, and I feel like I can be completely vulnerable, and like I'm really being listened to. It's just, I mean, I have to recommend working with Michael Cera. I'll say it. He's
It,
an
it,
incredible.
it's great writing too, which like does like way more than half of the work. I mean, like just reading the scripts, even just like on the page, I found it very moving. Like the first time I read this, right, and how fast it goes and how charged it is. You just get swept up in it because it's a great story, and you get to know Beth in the first season, and then it's very exciting to see her find this new facet of her life, and you care for her and you want that for her, and it's just very sweet. So the sweetness of it kind of and Amy having written it and her being the person who asked me to do it, it's all very natural that it's just fun to play it and easy to play and bring it to life.
Oh my God, that's so sweet. I'm like blushing over here listening to this. Well, Michael, you mentioned the ways that we're learning so much more about Beth and Beth is able to be vulnerable. But I feel as though this season we get to know a lot about John and
Hmm.
he we learn a lot about his background and his own experience with grief. What was it like for you as an actor getting this new information about this character in the second
Hmm.
season? Like, did you find yourself turning to new resources or
This is very moving, and I mean, I really love the character so much, and it's really a great, a great feeling to get to play him. And I mean, I don't know, I'm personally very, very moved by this season and by his story, and especially learning about his life and his experiences and what it's made him into and how he's handled it. I find it all very, very sweet and very lovingly written. And yeah, it was fun to get to explore that and like play a character who's kind of unlocking a lot of pieces of himself through his intimate relationship. And I mean, there's a lot to learn from it too. I feel like I learn a lot getting to play this and just reading it even, and just and being in a committed relationship myself, where you're always learning about yourself by being in a committed relationship. It's a fun story to get to tell.
Yes, definitely. And then kind of a subject change. I only have 2 minutes left. So, Amy, this one's for you. There are tons of exciting guest cameos this season. I was most blown away by Jennifer Coolidge as the psychic in New Orleans. What
Mm.
was the process of getting her on board for the season? And did you think of her specifically in that role?
I I don't remember. No, I mean Jen and I got to work together years ago on my sketch show. We did like a toddlers and tiaras thing where she was like my stage mom, and we had a blast. And we were friends in life and have gotten close, and we've spent a lot of time together in New Orleans actually. And so it seemed like a long shot that she'd be able to do it, but yeah, she wanted to come play, and just what a huge compliment, and credit to her and Amy Sedaris. They last minute had to switch roles because of scheduling issues. So and thank God, because they just both played them so perfectly. And Jen, I was just begging, our camera operators to just take me out of the shot because I was just crying laughing. It was preposterous. Just looking at her in that wig, and just her. I mean, you can't look at her. And we had a great time.
Incredible.
We really celebrated in New Orleans, and this show is it's such a celebration, in general.
That's wonderful. And you can really feel that energy, I think, watching it as a viewer. Final question. I would love to know any hopes you guys have for a third season, if there's been any talk so far, and where you would like to see the story go.
I would love to do more and get to keep learning about these people. And there's a lot to discover. We were kind of talking about it the other day.
Yeah, we want to do it, so we hope we get to do it. Yeah, we already have lots of ideas and enthusiasm for it. So hopefully people watch this season and there's a demand.
Yes, yes. I'm here for a baby season. We need a
Thank
baby season.
you.
Um, I know at one point you mentioned your sketch show. I'm totally out of time. I have to say that was one of my favorite shows. I was probably, I think, in high school when it came out. And I quote the My Mop Lin-Manuel Miranda Hamilton
Oh my
song
God.
every
Thank
single
you.
day.
I still can't believe that we got to pull that together. Thank you for saying that.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, of course. It lives, it's my Roman Empire, as the cool kids are saying.
Wow. My sister wrote that sketch, so that's
Wow,
really special.
talent.
Yeah.
So much talent in the family.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for chatting with me. I
Thank
had a
Thank
great
you.
you.
time.
Nice to see you. Thanks.